to bring about real criminal justice reform, to take bold action to address this climate crisis that we are facing, and make sure that every single person has clean air to breathe and clean water to drink. These goals and these aspirations and these priorities, that is what it means to put the well-being of our people first. We have yet to achieve that because instead we see prescription drug companies profiting as families and people are suffering from opioid addiction. We see private prisons profiting as more and more people in this country are incarcerated. We see money going towards that broken criminal justice system, incarcerating nonviolent drug offenders rather than looking at how we can support and provide resources for treatment. The contrast between the challenges and where we find the answer is stark. And where we find that answer is in these uniquely American ideals of putting service above self. Because that's really what our founders laid out for us, that we would have leaders of, by, and for the people whose sole mission would be to serve the people who entrusted them with their vote. That trust and that responsibility is a great thing. It's one I'm grateful to have earned from my constituents in Hawaii, both serving at the state legislature, serving in our city council, and now in Congress for over 6 years. And it's that trust I'm asking from each and every one of you to continue that service, to bring this leadership built on those principles that I know are in a soldier's heart of putting service before self to the White House. To bring those values of integrity and character and honor back to the presidency so that our White House can be that beacon of light and hope and opportunity and equality that our founders envisioned for us. Now we know there are so many of these challenges that we need to address. The question then is, okay, how? How do we do that? There's an issue that's central to the rest that you'll not hear any other candidate for president talking about, which is unfortunate. But that issue is the cost of war. And the fact that we continue to spend trillions of dollars on counterproductive regime change wars in other countries. Wars that increase the suffering of the people in those countries. Wars that take a toll on our service members and on our veterans. Those who pay the ultimate price never being able to make that trip home to see their loved ones and their families. And those who do coming home with wounds that are both seen and unseen. These wars are undermining our national security, strengthening and expanding terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. While the trillions of dollars that are coming out of our pockets to pay for these wars are dollars that are not going to serving the needs of our people. All of those things that we just talked about. So we're continuing to spend trillions of dollars on these wasteful wars. While this administration is ramping up a new Cold War, increasing tensions with countries like Russia and China, pulling out of historic peace treaties like the INF Treaty, which 30 years ago drastically reduced the numbers of nuclear weapons in the world, making the world more safe. Instead, Trump has taken us out of this treaty, and just in the last several weeks, has now begun building more of these cruise missiles that violate that treaty, bringing us and the world closer to the precipice of nuclear catastrophe. And we're at a point now where we are at greater risk of nuclear war now than ever before in history. I talk about this everywhere I go because it's real. Just about a year ago in Hawaii, in January of last year, there was a alert that went out across over 1 million people's cell phones. A lot of you are nodding. You know about this. It was terrifying to get this message that read, "Missile incoming. Seek shelter immediately. This is not a drill." It's tough to imagine literally having minutes to live. You wake up as early on a Saturday morning in Hawaii, you're thinking about, maybe we'll go to the beach today. You take the kids to the soccer field, and then you get this message. What do you do? Where do you go? There's nowhere to go. This father lowered his little girl, probably 7 or 8 years old, down a manhole, thinking that that may be the only place she could be safe. Kids on our University of Hawaii College campus were sprinting across the campus trying to find a building that they felt might keep them safe. Now, this was a wake-up call. This proved to be a false alarm, but everyone reacted in the way that we did because this threat is real. And so this was a wake-up call, not just for Hawaii, but for the country, about how serious this threat is. It doesn't have to be this way. I'm running for president because I don't want any one of you, I don't want any one of your families, I don't want anyone in this country to have to go through that, to live with this threat looming over our heads. I'm running for president to end these wasteful regime change wars, to work to bring about an end to this new Cold War and nuclear arms race so that we can take those resources, take those dollars, bring them back here to our pockets, bring them back here to invest in serving the needs of our people, to make sure that everyone gets the health care that they need, to make sure that our kids get the quality education that they need, to make sure that we are investing in a strong and bright future for our families today and for generations to come. These are serious issues. There is so much at stake. The experience that I bring, both as a soldier, as someone who's worked on the Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committee, and someone who cares deeply about our country, is what I bring to the table. It is what I offer to you. I ask for your consideration to allow me the opportunity to serve you as your President and Commander-in-Chief. Thank you so much. Aloha.